Welcome to Court Explainer over the Christmas seasons. As we said, we are giving this a special attention because two people read the Constitution of Kenya. All of them are dead. That is Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki. But you now have got to read the Constitution. And that is why Court Explainer continuously said it will do 25 episodes to explain the Constitution so that you are able to get it. Today we are looking at, as from Article 42 of the Constitution, what does the Constitution talk about the environment? Remember, the environment is everything. What did the Kenyans say about the environment? They said, every person has the right to a clean and healthy environment, which includes the right to have the environment protected for the benefit of present and future generations through legislation and measures. This brings about what is called the sustainable goals, that our environment is not ours now. It is an environment for the generations and generations to come. So don't cut trees, don't pollute the environment, because that environment under Article 42 will be left for the generations and generations to come. The Constitution moves in Article 43, talks about economic and social rights. What are the rights under the economics and social rights to you as a citizens? The Constitution says every person has a right to the highest attainable standards of health, which includes the right to health care services, including reproductive health care, to accessible and adequate housing, and to reasonable standards of sanitation, to be free from hunger, and to have adequate food and acceptable living standards. So the question you are seeing about education, about social health, about SHA, about these rights. These are rights that are provided for. Then the question is, people have died for rushing to hospital and they have been chased, that they cannot be treated because they don't have a medical cover, or they don't have money to pay as a deposit. What does Article 43 say? Every person has the right not to be denied emergency and medical treatment. That now you know from Court Helicopter. Anytime you go to hospital, the hospital must treat you because that is your right, and there is no way a patient is going to be chased from the hospital because of that. Contextualize how many Kenyans are dying because they have been denied that right. Article 43 moves on to Article 44, which is the language and culture. What does the Constitution say about your language and your culture? Every person has the right to use the language and to participate in cultural life of a person's choice. Nobody can force you to be in a certain culture. Nobody can force you not to use your language. So, your Kikuyu language, your Kisi language, your Luya language, your Mijikenda language, your Meru language, your Kamba language is protected by Article 43 to the Constitution. Then you can not be compelled to perform or observe cultural rites that you are not born. So the tribal and ethnic identity, the cultures, are protected by Article 43 of the Constitution. Article 44. Let us talk to Article 45. What does Article 45? The article that deals with the family. Here, I'll be a bit slow to make it very clear because everybody has family. What does the Constitution talk about family? The family is the natural and the fundamental unit of society and the necessary basis of social order and shall enjoy the recognition and protection of the state. The Constitution identifies the family as the cradle for everything. Number 2, every adult has the right to marry a person of the opposite sex based on the free consent of the parties. Every adult person can marry a person of the opposite sex. Does the Constitution allow gay? No. Does the Constitution allow homosexuality? No. Does the Constitution allow lesbianism? No. It is marriage of the opposite sex. So 2 people of similar sex cannot marry, and that is Article 45(2). Article 45(3) talks that parties to a marriage are entitled to equal rights at the time of the marriage, during the marriage, and at the dissolution of the marriage. So, at the time you are being married or you are marrying, you become equal. During marriage time, you are equal. At the time of the divorce, you are equal. This is the principle that is going to determine how properties of a matrimonial marriage is going to be dealt with. I know men will be very mad. Is your wife equal like you? Is your girlfriend equal like you? Yes. Article 45(3). Culturally, you'll argue you are the head of the family. There's nothing like being the head of the family. Under the Constitution, all of you are equal. And that is what the law talks of the family. Then, Article 46 talks about the consumer rights. You are a consumer. You're going to take food. You're going to take Coca-Cola. You're going to take mchele. You're going to eat mokimo. You're going to kula nyamambuzi. You're going to kula choma. You're going to consume a lot. What does the law talk about you as a consumer? Do you know the Constitution protects consumers? What does it say? Consumers have the right, 1, to goods and services of reasonable quality. Have you paid for a bus that as you're inside, smoke is coming inside? That is a service that is not of reasonable goodness. Have you bought things that are dying all over? So the consumer has a right to goods and services of reasonable quality. So when you are going to hotels, you have paid. It's not a privilege. Ask for services that are of reasonable quality. 2, to the information necessary for them to gain full benefit from the goods and services. Have you bought a phone without a manual? Have you bought anything without the operating manual? The consumer must be given information before they buy. 3, to the protection of their health, safety, and economic interests. As a consumer, you must be protected of your health, your safety, and your economic interest, and to be compensated for any loss or injury arising from defects in goods and services. If you go to a hotel and you are hurt, your child is playing with the swing and that child is injured, you have gone to the swimming pool, a child has been injured, you have gone to a bar, you have been sold a flat beer, you are entitled for compensation. So long as you pick evidence, take it to the lawyer, you are supposed to be compensated for anything. Then we have a fair administrative action, Article 47. What does that mean? In Article 47, every person has the right to administrative action that is expeditious, efficient, lawful, reasonable, and procedurally fair. So the question is, has your employer sacked you without giving you a right of being heard? Have they taken so long to decide your matter? So, a fair administrative action makes that it is a due process. Rules of natural justice must be allowed. So any summary dismissal, anything that goes without you being given a hearing, that is not a fair administrative action. All actions of government, all actions of employers, all actions of anybody in authority must follow due respect of the law, and you have a right to be heard. Article 47 is the reason why you have seen very many decisions of government. When the president makes a decision, when parliament makes a decision, when cabinet ministers make a decision, they go to court. People challenge. Sheria Mtaani goes to court. Umtata goes to court. Wakili Danstan Omari goes to court. And the court says the decision was not good because it did not factor in a fair administrative action. Access to justice. Article 48. That the state shall ensure everybody has access to justice. Make sure nobody stops you from going to the police when you have been hurt. The courts are free. The Chief Justice has said the courts will run open, even on Christmas Day. That is what the article says. You have a right to access justice. Then Article 49, we dealt with it, the rights of an arrested person. So if you are arrested on the road, we said that you must be told why you have been arrested. You must be taken to court within 24 hours. You must be charged. A fair trial proceeds. And if you are found guilty, then you are convicted. Those are the rights of an arrested person. Article 50 is the fair hearing. We have dealt that clearly when we dealt with the trial process, that a fair hearing must be ensured that you have been given a fair time in court. I wouldn't want this one we dealt with last week about a fair hearing in court. In Article 53, we are now dealing with special interest groups. As we start with the marginalized group, Wakili Danstan Omari wishes you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We are doing this because Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki, who read the Constitution, died. We need you to have the Constitution always on you. See you in the next episode. Wakili Danstan Omari.